How is it going, people? Balls. I just realized I didn't plug my router into my computer, so we're on Wi-Fi, which is always high risk. Very high risk. Let's plug this sucker in. See if that cuts us off or not for a moment. I can see if we're still going. Hopefully that didn't cut us off. Mark is here. He's been here at 2 a.m. Seattle time. Goodness me. You need some sleep, man, to watch the Pro 14 final for your team. Genius of 2 cents, Alaran says. The exact margin, 17 points between counties and Tasman. No way. Did I get that one exactly right? I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it. I actually slept through it. Believe it or not. Took the kids out today. I was absolutely knackered. I watched last night's game. I watched part of Auckland and Otago, but the kids were running around, so not that much focus on it. And yeah, I had a wee nap like a proper old man. What can I say? Auckland game, yeah. I saw bits and pieces of it, to be honest, but with the kids running around, it was kind of hard to focus. Morning from New York. Hey, Kenneth. Goodness me, it must be a horrible time over there. Morning, Fleshin. Leo says Reds by 13. Who's in the final? These two teams are going to play the One of these two teams is going to play the Brumbies. Mundi says fourth match of the day. Exactly right, man. Danny Manchester says Rebels. Nov Mum says good evening. 11J says how's it going? Hi, Jonathan. Kian says 35-28. Is it Kian or Kian? Kian. Kian? Like Ryan? Grant says, good afternoon, morning, evening. How's it going? Simon's got the Rebels by 3, as my son would say. Not long till the Stags thrash Hawke's Bay. I know you love your Mitre 10 Cup. Let's go Rebels. I watched Waikato Wellington. Goodness me, what a win that was. I think I tipped, speaking of Super Brew tipping, I tipped Wellington for that one. Man, they got a hiding. Absolute hiding. D-Max intercept try. Crazy business. I wonder how the crowd is going to be for this one. They said they were going to allow 20-odd thousand. See some bums on the seats. It looks alright. Doing the Pro 14 live stream. Yes, bro. Yes, I haven't set it up yet. It just occurred to me as I started this one. I have not set it up. But in a lazy turn of events, I've left the Leinster flag hanging up behind these Aussie jerseys to save myself a bit of time. What can I say? I'll be going straight to bed after this game and straight into the Pro 14 as soon as I get out of bed, basically. Rebels by 6. Who do I reckon is going to win? I've picked the Reds. What can I say? I've picked the Reds. They seem to be in decent form, but who knows? Who really knows? I didn't think the Rebels were that hot last week. They only just scraped through. Reds by 9. Zalaran. Josh is on the Spates. Good man. I think we've got some Spates at home, but I'm still finishing off this stuff. I bought such a big box of it, and I'm such a slow drinker. What can I say? Lavani, how are you, mate? You must be pleased that George has been confirmed for that 8 Nations tournament. Big V8 show. Who have you got in this one? 2 of your Aussie teams. But not too far away from kickoff by the look of things. Nick Berry is the ref. Looks pretty warm. I don't know, anyone in Queensland to tell me if it's warm or not. They're doing the countdown. I'll let you know when they've kicked off, which is now, and then I'll let you know when we're at about 10 seconds. So if I'm ahead of you, you can pause me, and then I won't be dropping spoilers. And that's 10 seconds right now. So if I am ahead, feel free to pause me on YouTube to make up the difference. Levani is excited and a bit scared about Georgia taking part in the Eight Nations. A lot of pressure, that's true, to do well. Rebels have got the ball just outside their own 22. They look to run it. Bit of space. Here goes Hodgie. He's caught just over the halfway line. Seems like a pretty even split between you guys in terms of picking the Reds and picking the Rebels. Is anyone picking the winner of this game to beat the Brumbies, or do you think the Brumbies are going to be too good? Is it fair on the Mitre 10 Cup players who get dropped as soon as a pro becomes available? That's just the way it goes, man. Dan Carter went to play for a legit club team in his hometown today, to win their club final. I feel like that's even worse because that's like amateur level. At least the Mitre 10 Cup guys are getting paid. We'll be shouting for Georgia in the Eight Nations. You'll be right. It's a fun bus ride indeed. Tian, how's it going? Reds for an upset in the final, says Otto. Simon says Brumbies will win it. Dunwoody thinks depends who gets through. Brumbies at home. Mitre 10 clubs have fantastic jerseys. Lots of hoops, eh? Lots of hoops. If you're a fan of hoops, that's it. Sam, yes, man. I'm still finishing off the bloody Wakachungi. I think I still got like 2 or 3 bottles left. I did buy some Kingfisher the other day, so I've been alternating, but I've still got to finish this stuff off. Imagine being the 10 who leads your team to the final and gets the greatest of all time comes and you get dropped at the final. That's pretty much how it went. I think that's his second game for his club team. So, yeah. Big Will, my game clock is at 2:40 right about now. The Rebels have had all the ball for these 2 minutes. They don't want to play any kicking game early, apparently. Tamua's put a grubber through. Oh, McDermott's the first guy to snapple it up. What do you think of Rugby Championship taking place in Australia? Step 1, as long as it takes place, I'm happy. I don't really care where it takes place. Step 2, as a Kiwi, I'm kind of disappointed. We didn't manage to do a better job of putting our hands up to take it. But that being said, if the government has got their priorities in terms of health and safety stuff before sports, I can't blame them, man. There's an election coming too. We've got an election in like a month. So, yeah. It might have been a bit of a risky one. You know, watching through Rugby Pass, the game hasn't even started here. Bro, what's up with Rugby Pass being crap recently? I've used them when I was in Asia, and they were always really good. Regular start times, watch on demand. It was like my favourite service. Scotland have halved our peak number of COVID cases. We are back in lockdown, except for schools, which are still open. Means you still got to go to school, mate. Why are the elections so soon? In New Zealand, we do them every 3 years, which seems too short. But, oh well, get lots of chances to vote, I guess. Haircut, yeah. Gotta love haircut. Is haircut the starting 9 for the Wallabies? Or is it Nick White? What do you do if you're Dave Rennie? Five minutes in. The Rebels have had pretty much all the ball, and now we're seeing a bit of kicking, bit of force back. And the ball's gone too big from Jock Campbell. But Dane Halipeti just wants to punt it. Yeah, Dalgunu ain't gonna kick it. And he's knocked it on. Knocked it on. They're just airing their ads on Rugby Pass instead of the game. Jeez. Literally forgot this competition was still going on, says Jay. Yeah, to be honest, if I look at my view numbers for the Super Rugby AU content, it ain't pretty, but I'm not stopping. Stop for nobody. A lot of decision making on the Rugby Championship would have been to do with the bureaucracy in New Zealand and not necessarily the government decision. Yeah, probably true. I think there's a multitude of factors. It just seems like we were such in the box seat, and then not to get it seemed a bit disappointing. Rennie should pick haircut. He's in form. He is the form man. At Glasgow, Rennie alternated the scrum halves every week, never had a first choice. Maybe he could do that here. That's probably true as well. What did he do when he was at the Chiefs? Who was his starting halfback? Was it Kerbala? I'm trying to think back that far. Who was the Chiefs halfback when they won those titles? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Man, it's all Rebels so far. They're into the Reds 22. They got to score, man. There's so much pressure building. Finally got it working. Good, man. Ungargle, how's it going? Oh, cross kick. Whoa, what's happened here? Callaway looks a bit sore. Okay, it was Kerbala. Charlotte, how's it going? Long time no see on a stream. Seven minutes and 10 seconds. We're going to have a TMO in the corner. Callaway looks pretty sore. Oh, I think he's got a foot in touch there. Pollard has a knee injury. Oh, man. You've always got out in Yankees. Damien Willemser. Nah, his foot's in touch. Been all Rebels, but no points to show for it yet. Saturday mornings are pretty busy in the house, I'll bet. Yankees and the youngster at the Sharks. Oh, Bosch? Kerwin Bosch? Yeah, he could play. Kaito, we are at 7 minutes and 47 seconds at the moment. 2 cents creator sending me the TMO. Whoa, intercept. Pitaya is going to score 100% against the run of play. Hi, Lindsay, by the way, from Brisbane. How's the weather there? Looks pretty warm. Goodness me. What's an intercept from Pitaya? Wish Super Rugby Aotearoa had semis in a final. You and me both, buddy. That decision ended up being a pretty horrendous one. Tamua's pass. Pitaya is going to be too quick, even if Korobiti's running him down as hard as he can. Pitaya is just cruising. Korobiti tries to run him down. Too easy. Take that, try time, baby. Yeah, man. Against the run of play, I reckon. warm in Glasgow, only joking its rating as always. Man, I kid you not, Auckland, I don't think I saw a cloud in the sky until about 5 o'clock. It was absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Oh, wrong side. Too much players been on the Rebels side. Seven 0. Sam and Darmundi are asking Big Will, why aren't you at the game? Is your missus not letting you this week? She must be upset about the Broncos. Not enough teams to justify playoffs for me. Pretty much the same as Rugby Championship and Six Nations. I think the way they've done it works okay because it's second and third playoff against first. So it's still like top three. You still get a reward for finishing first, and you don't reward the bottom two teams. Just something about knockout footy. Yeah, Pataya shoved his middle finger in the face of that momentum thing. That is for sure. Pretty happy with the crowd there, to be honest. Looks alright. Rebels will regret not converting. Yeah, man, it's painful to see a team have all the play and then come away with absolutely nothing and then concede points on top of it. Kind of brutal. Broncos are as bad as the Warriors. I don't follow the league, Lindsay, but even I have heard that the Broncos are having a pretty crap year, which must mean they're really bad because I don't follow the news at all for league. Rumour started to Super Rugby competition will probably have 6 teams on each one next year. 6 would be better than 5. Aussie taking the Rugby Championship. As long as they get it played, man, I don't really mind. Kind of brutal seeing us look like we were going to get it, but if they get it played, I'm not too fussed. Caleb, the game clock is at 1:55. It's a shot of Dave Vessels and his glorious, glorious mustache with some fan in the box next to him having a ball with a big smile on his face. Oh, Big Will, your old girl did the Achilles, man. Give her our best. Charlie's watching on TV and it's super lag. That's no good. Hope I'm not dropping spoilers. Do feel free to pause me. Pause the YouTube and I won't be dropping spoilers. My missus did her Achilles once, but interestingly it was while holding my son when he was like 1 and she walked down wet stairs and slipped. She managed to keep him up, but she buggered her own leg for a while. So yeah, it was pretty bad. She had to see a specialist, but it just healed. Wasn't like a full tear or anything. As long as the time was reasonable, yeah. Mr. Rugby fan, how's it going? Live stream any games in the Mitre 10 Cup? I'll have to see. I'll have to wait and see, probably at some point. I've been kind of getting amped up for this game today. I didn't watch any of the Mitre 10 Cup games like full. I watched bits and pieces and I totally missed the last one. I fell asleep, which just shows that I'm getting old. Day out with the kids in the sunshine and I was knackered. Needed a rest. Sat down in a comfortable chair and just nodded off. Well done, your wife, Supermum, saving her child. Yeah, to be fair, I've done exactly the same thing, Charlotte. I once walked down like a gravel path I took the child, and this was my daughter, because my wife was wearing shoes which didn't look very safe. And then I immediately fell over, but kept the child up. Something about your parental instinct won't let the child fall to the ground. What can I say? But yeah, she did it. Hers was stairs, so she did it even better. She completely snapped the tendon. Oh, I had to sew it back together. Heard it pop too. Bro, be good to her, man. Jeez, that's awful. Romeo, yes, Pataya scored. He got an intercept totally against the run of play. No one was buying that dummy from Korobidi. Dave Vessels looks like a circa 1986 South African policeman. Bloody scary. Yeah, I heard the police in the 80s, South Africa. It's a subject I know very little about, but I would say probably pretty unpleasant. Same here, fell asleep on the couch while watching. Okay, so I'm not the only one who's who's having the old nana nap. Pataya's better than Kurandrani. Kurandrani's not been in good form, man. It's for sure. Oh, big scrum from the Rebels. Oh, scrum penalty. Good scrum, Rebels, man. I've saved my son a few times, always by somehow managing to grab his hoodie. I do remember once climbing One Tree Hill, which is not too far from where I live. And like you can go up the road or you can just go cross country and go up the grass. And I used to walk like when I was like, I don't know, 10 with my mum and dad. We used to go cross country, and one day we were going down and my mum and my dad were in front of me. And then I kind of lost my footing. But I didn't fall down. I just started like running down the hill, and I couldn't stop myself from running because it was quite a steep angle. And I just shrieked out, "Mom!" And she connected me with the eyes, and she knew she had to save her son's life. So she stuck out her arm, and I just went whack into her arm, and she clotheslined me, just like a wrestling move. So she put me right on my ass, but stopped me from falling down the hill. So good job, Mum. She probably wanted to do that, and it was probably pretty cathartic for her as well, to be fair. Rebels have kicked the penalty from that scrum. Let's take the 90 here. Yeah, Charlotte, she's a good mum. I'm sure she, like I said, I'm sure she enjoyed it at least a little bit. Scooter, the Rebels have had all the ball, but the Reds scored an intercept try. At scrum time, the Rebels managed to get a penalty, which they just kicked, so we're at 7-3. And Big Will, yeah, man, the crowd looks pretty solid, actually. That's worth writing a note about, actually, so I don't forget to mention it later. Pataya in the air. Beats Hodgie to it. My son's head got stuck in an automatic door. I laughed, then my parent instincts kicked in and I waved the sensor. He was okay. I love it that you did both. I know sometimes kids don't set off the sensor for those automatic doors. Bro, what a tackle that was. Who was that? Absolutely smashed. Wilson's gone flying in to try and get that ball out. Thought there might have been a wee knock on from haircut, but no. Dane Halapeti is going to put boot to ball. Fair bit of kicking tonight. It's a bit tentative. COVID limitations on the crowds. Yeah, Suncorp seats more than 50,000, but the limit for this one was like 23. Callaway's put it into touch on the full. Mama 2 cents like, don't go get yourself killed or I will kill you, basically. Yeah, basically. Yeah, she wasn't having a hill take me out. If anyone's going to take me out, it was going to be her. Time check, we're at 18:45. Oh, Meeks with the tackle, was it? Massive. Oh, Jock Campbell. Oh, they could have scored there. Goodness me. There could be trouble here if that was an early tackle. My oldest virtual learning was teaching about politics. I guess I have to go to the school, get another Chromebook after smashing the one his teacher gave him. Oh, damn. That doesn't sound good, bro. Tripped my grandson with my shoulders on a pavement. My knee and ankle. Did your knee and ankle making sure you didn't have to deck? Jeez. Oh, no, I think that timing looks alright. Ooh, but he didn't have the ball, did he? It's just hit him in the foot. I don't know. There's a hand maybe in it. Haven't watched the Pro 14 preview yet, but you're going to do a live stream for the final. Absolutely naked ref. I still need to set it up. It's the last thing I need to do before I go to bed. Is set up the Pro 14 live stream. Oh, Tupou's just knocked it on. Fair tackle. Not looking good for the Rebels, and Lorenz says Pataya's turned up. Rebels have won a penalty. Man. You can slowly feel, though, the Reds have been turning it up, hey? After being kind of under the pump for those first 10 minutes. They're actually starting to put the pressure on. I think Queensland are trying to build up the crowd attendance for sporting events, so the AFL finals going to be in Brisbane in a month's time. Would make sense. It's a good crowd though. Very pleasing to see. Get it out, Lamani. Oh, what a tackle from Pataya. Some big hits in this game. It's been alright. I can watch the game now as my poor husband has been called into work as the registrar's daughter has COVID symptoms, so she can't come into work. So you can't watch the game? Let's just bug it up your Saturday. Hope your husband's doing alright. I'm sure it's been a very tough year for him. Anyone in the medical profession's been under the pump. Either that crowd's getting really into the game or they're still cranking up the fake crowd noise. I'm not sure. It's a lot of noise being made by that crowd if it's real. Oh, you can. What's the connection between your husband getting called into work and you being able to watch the game? Oh, you were going to go out. Oh, so now you can't go out. Oh, so it's kind of a good news, bad. Silver lining. Silver lining. Stream for the Pro 14 final. Yes, Adrian. After I after I have a sleep, I still need to set it up. I will set it up. I mean to do that before I go to bed. It's Australia, of course. It's all fake noises. It does seem a bit over the top for the limited crowd that is there. Back for a penalty. Yeah, Meeks has been doing a fair bit of defending. What can we say? Your husband is hyperactive. Sounds like it. My wife is always on at me to go out somewhere. She always wants to take the kids out. She doesn't like them staying home, which is fair enough. Take them to the park, take them to just anywhere. Brad Thorne's coaches. The coaching. He seems to have a thing for guys who aren't afraid of a wee tackle. He's not afraid to get rid of some big names. To be fair, the Aussie comp has gotten better as it's gone on, 100%. Let's hope the same is true of the Pro 14 final today. I saw a couple of kind of lackluster games, but the Ulster one against Edinburgh last week had a cracking second half, so let's hope that continues on to the final. But finals generally don't go like that. 24:22 is the minutes and seconds on the clock at the minute. Most of the time, only one of my kids wants to go somewhere. To be honest, my son complains anytime we try to take him anywhere. He's kicked it. 10-3. But I usually just bribe him with something. Take the 90. If you guys aren't aware, the other day my son came in one of the morning streams, and I asked him when a team had a penalty, should they take the 3 or go for 7? And he was just like, they should just take the 90. So, okay, kick for 90. Elron loved Auckland Museum when you were a kid. They've still got that same mummy there. My kids don't mind the museum. I used to like the museum a lot too. It's a good museum. You got to pay to get in now, or at least show your rates notice, your council rates. Otherwise, you got to pay. Used to be pretty much free. 2 cents junior mastering social distancing. Yeah. Hope you're right. It's an Irish derby. It could be an arm wrestle or a rout. What would I take? Would I take like a strangling arm wrestle, which is like, I don't know, 12-9? Or would I take like 45-10? I think if it's a final, I'd rather see it go down to the wire, even if it's not pretty. Oh, the Reds have got another penalty. They're starting to do some good work at the breakdown. How much does it cost? I don't actually know, because I think it's like $20 maybe. But I am a rate payer in Auckland, so I've just got to show them my rates notice that I pay the council rates, and then I can get in for free. But they never even used to ask for that kind of stuff. You just be able to walk in. Stalio, good evening. You should take your kids to the Te Papa Museum, Wellington, Gallipoli exhibition, a huge sculpture of soldiers, amazing. We took them there actually last year, and they were pretty scared of those big bloody soldiers. They're huge. They're like giants. My kids were quite scared. At that time they would have been like 4 and 2, because my son's almost 5 now. Who did I pick? I picked the Reds. Ruben. You see the England jersey is now being sold for 100. Is it the Pro or is it the replica? Te Papa is a cool museum. Every now and again, I go there after walking home from work. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I still prefer Auckland Museum, but what can I say? Oh, he's missed the penalty this time. Oh, it's free during COVID level 2. Okay. I haven't been there during COVID level 2, to be honest. Trying to avoid indoor places. I went to Western Springs today, which is a nice little park next to the zoo, and they got bloody swans and ducks and geese and just birds on the lake. O'Connell with a line break. He holds the ball. Haircut. Tupou. He's not going to pass it. Oh man, the line speed of the Rebels is very fast. Tupou again. Come on, Reds. Do my Super Brew a favour. So happy Kayo was playing the Mitre 10. Oh, I didn't know they were. Oh, the Rebels have turned them over. Like all the games? That's good, because there's a ton of games on a Mitre 10, man. Like 14 teams. Oh, another turnover. Go, Callaway. Why am I cheering both sides? They're not a rugby ground at Western Springs. There's a stadium at Western Springs. I don't think they've ever played rugby there. I think it's every game. Oh, that's good. Scores have been high in the Mitre 10 Cup, though, eh? Like I mentioned in the preview, that the season preview, for people who don't watch Mitre 10 Cup, the scores are usually pretty high, and it proved to be the case. Yeah. You're going to get a Waikato overload, not a bad thing. Sad about Wellington Lions versus Waikato. Yeah, man, they got a bit of a hiding. No legit Mitre 10 streams in the US that you can find. That's no good, man. I was checking for it on the old ESPN Plus, but it was not listed. Commentator in the Auckland game today was top shelf. The way he pronounced the players' names was A1. Who was the commentator in the Auckland game? Can't even remember. The idea of defense in the Mitre 10 doesn't seem to exist. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. 650, and the guys beg you to say, Pickle Rick said it's red. Red's year. Pickle Rick. Who's Pickle Rick? Or is that? Is that? I know when people say hello from Mike Hunt. Like that's one that sounds bad if you say it fast. Is that one of those? Where did I buy all the jerseys from? A few different stores. It's from Rick and Morty. I've never watched Rick and Morty. Never watched it. Wait, who's Paisami come on for? Too busy saying Pickle Rick. Brief experiment from the TVNZ late 80s and 90s where they did live broadcasts of Auckland Club Rugby from Western Springs. I do not remember, unfortunately. Emailed NZ Rugby who said ESPN had the rights for Mitre 10. Don't understand why they don't put them on ESPN Plus. Yeah, I will ask ESPN Plus myself tomorrow. I'll ask them. Because they didn't have Super Rugby Aotearoa until like a day before. So... Oh, Pataya's gone off, man. What's happened? I don't watch adult cartoons, but Rick and Morty is amazing. The last one I think I've watched is Archer, and I only watched like a couple of seasons of it. It was pretty mad. Bro, go Ainsley. I love seeing a prop in open field. And then he gets in there and cleans out. Well, how the hell's the ball been turned over? Offload City. Offload like 3 in a row. Can't take my eyes off this game. Oh, haircuts kicked it into Phillip. Oh, it's frantic. ESPN Plus had Super Rugby since the restart. Yeah, but they didn't list it until like really late. Or was it? No, maybe it was AU. It was Super Rugby AU. They didn't list until like a day before. I even contacted them on live chat. I was like, are you going to show the games? And they were like, nah, sorry. And then next minute they had it. King of the Hill was good. Yeah, I used to watch King of the Hill. That's true. Hank Hill. Oh, nice Irani. Bro, he just needed that ball to hold up. Come on. What a shocking pass. Nice Irani charge down. Oh, brutal. Crazy. Sky Sports Arena UK also showing all the Mitre 10 Cup games live. Okay, that's good. But like I mentioned, those games are madness, so why wouldn't you want to watch them? Unless you're like me and you fall asleep. Or Darmundi, he fell asleep too. One thing I don't like about this game is it's called a qualifying final, which is kind of a mouthful. I know that's what it is, but how many weeks since we've seen a 50-22? Tamua just went for one there, didn't get near it. We haven't really seen it, eh? Does Geza just follow Auckland in the Mitre 10? He'll watch as many games as he can get his hands on. He loves it. He loves it. This is bloomingly enjoyable. Alaran, this game has been frantic. I haven't scored like a heck of a lot of points. 13 points is not a lot, but the game's been good watching so far. We've had a couple of close calls. Haircut Charlotte is Tate McDermott, the Reds number 9. Generally, since he's been a professional rugby player, he's had a really bad haircut, which is why we tend to call him Haircut. But he's far from the only number 9 in the world to go with a bit of a shocking lid. So, yeah. Qualifying final jargon is very Aussie. Oh, okay, they have similar terms in NRL and AFL. I guess for Aussies it's fine then, but it means virtually nothing to me. Qualifying final. Viable Solutions. Good morning, mate. To be honest, I've never liked the term grand final either. That's just a personal one. I feel like you don't need to call the grand final grand because it's the final. It's inherently grand. You don't need to call it grand. Quarterfinal, semi-final, final. That's it. If you're in the final, I know what you're talking about. But anyway, that's it. Just me. Does Super Rugby or Pro 14 be better with an Argentinian team? It's hard to say, man. I love watching the Jaguares in Super Rugby. But the way the world is going at the moment, extended travel is not seemingly very viable. Bro, Korobidi is going to score. I am convinced that crowd noise is fake, by the way. There was a huge roar of like applause, and in the background you could see some Queenslander just sitting there like, they've scored. Man, out of nowhere. My home haircuts have been shocking too, says Charlotte. Wow. Yeah, Charlotte, I cut all my hair off during lockdown as well. What can I say? Thoughts on Super Bowl? That one's always been Super Bowl, so I guess I don't know any different, so I don't really mind it. But I'm pretty sure most places don't say grand final. You don't say the Rugby World Cup grand final. You just say the Rugby World Cup final. So, yeah. I feel like that's an Aussieism that came over from rugby league. And we started using it over here for our rugby. It's just me being very pedantic. It doesn't actually matter at all, but people get funny. And I am people. Yeah. See, Leo, in Scotland, you guys just say final. I think the majority of the world says final. Aussies say grand final. That's kind of rubbed off on us. I've heard our commentators say Super Rugby grand final. Just final. Crowd noise is fake. Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't have been so loud if their team was just conceded. All the people in the background were just sitting there. What about the Grand Slam for the Six Nations? But isn't that like a... That's like got a meaning, right? There's no other... Because you've done all the things. I don't know. If you just call it a slam, does it make sense? Grand final only works in some sports or tourneys where if you lose, you don't get knocked out, but you get moved to a losers bracket, and then the losers of those finals face the winners of the final. That's grand. That makes sense. It sounds like there's logic to that. So Super Rugby doesn't have that, so there shouldn't be a grand final. There you go. Grand Slam has a meaning that the team wins all the games. Yeah, so I feel like that one makes sense. That one I don't mind. But grand final, I don't think makes sense, at least in a rugby union context. Yes. Grand finals an AFL thing and an NRL thing, right? Grand slams in tennis, yeah. But yeah, we get it here in New Zealand. I've definitely heard Grant Nisbet say, "Welcome to the Super Rugby Grand Final between the Crusaders and the Warriors." I've definitely heard it. And it just made the hair on the back of my stand up. So, anyway. Dwayne's cheering the Reds. Good man. It's a tight one so far. Should never let anything Aussie rub off on you. There you go. Yeah, I don't know why that one bothers me. It's just one of the, you know how you have those stupid things that bother you? My sister-in-law also says tomato. And I know I pronounce some words totally not Kiwi, like kind of American. But she says tomato, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. Hey, Mark, can you pass me... In total New Zealand English, hey, Mark, can you pass me the tomatoes? I'm like, why that one word? Why? I don't know. It's like only a Mercedes to make yourself feel bigger. What? Batman, how's it going, mate? I'm about to look at the halftime stats. We got run meters, and there's been a ton of them. 280 to the Reds, 303 for the Rebels. That's more than a lot of games have in the entire 80. That's more. In Ireland, we say potato. Okay, nice. Yes. Possession is 50-50. Territory is 45-55 in the Rebels' favour. Tackling percentage. The Reds are at a shocking 76%. Brad Thorne will not be happy. The Rebels are at a pretty respectable 88. 59 tackles by the Reds, 51 by the Rebels. Penalties conceded is 3 by the Reds, 4 by the Rebels, which is probably what's helping this game flow. The ref's not been blowing that much up. I've passed someone salt before, but never someone tomatoes. Tomatoes. At the table, you Kiwis sure are unique. I think it was when preparing a salad. Scotland, we say toddies? Really? Sure. Not heard Nisbo mention Blues are in the final for a number of years. Yeah, I know. Certainly not in the grand final anyway. In Afrikaans, that Scottish word means something completely different. Okay. I'm also in the same boat as you, Leo. I have no idea what's going on. If someone asked me to pass the toddies, I would probably have no idea at all. But it certainly wouldn't mean anything untoward. South America, do a video with Squidge Rugby. I've only ever talked to him like once or twice on Twitter. He seems like a pretty good guy. His videos are certainly very, very good. My daughter somehow picked up an American accent and it annoys me to no end, says Grant. Well, I guess that's probably the environment she's been surrounded by, eh? Yeah. Yeah, it's Pataya. I don't think he's coming back on, eh? Or is he back on? Oh no, he is back on. He's not back. Not good. Minced potatoes here. Scotland's national dish is pronounced mince and toddies. I also picked up an American accent, and it's pretty helpful, to be honest. Toddy means an attractive young woman in England, and when I was in university in Scotland, it was mints and tatties. Maybe it depends on where you are. Paul, the score, 10-10 at half-time. Yeah, my kids have definitely got more New Zealand accents than me, that's for sure. I know they're pretty Kiwi when they say the word girl, like she's a girl. They say girl. She's a girl. That's pretty Kiwi. All the boys and girls. Quite Kiwi. That's what it means in Ireland also. Okay. My son's girlfriend is Swedish and she sounds like she's straight out of Southern California. Those Swedes, they watch a bunch of American TV and they get the English from that. I had that from a Swede. Which team has the better bench? Oh. I'm trying to remember. I think probably the Reds, because they had to bring in at least a couple of guys into that Rebels squad who weren't that experienced. I feel like the ABs are going to be tired for the Rugby Championship. South Africa, Aussie will be love that. Maybe. Reece Hodge to kick the winning penalty from 60 out after the siren. He certainly has got a big boot on him. First video I ever saw of Reece Hodge was him kicking some stupidly long kick. Not in a game, but just in a practice session. But he must have kicked it like 60, 70, maybe 80 meters. Yeah, it was mental. And I was like, man, he could be a good rugby player. And then next minute he was signed. And I was like, okay, good news. Is there a massive difference between accents in the two islands? Not really. But people from Southland, at least maybe Josh will be able to confirm or deny this. They say words like our. They just kind of make it one sound. Instead of our, like this is our city, they would say our. Yeah. There was a politician from that area of the country who, when giving a political speech, was talking about all these different things, and he was trying to promote it's our healthcare system and our families and our workers and our taxes, and it was like too much air. Blindside, yes, yeah, there you go. Southland and Gore, yeah, they tend to do a little bit of that. My mum's from Gore and she rolls her R's. There you go. That's it. Jandals, that's New Zealand English. Chili bin is an esky or a some kind of cooler bin. Cooler? What you put your beer in. This live stream makes the halftime break not boring. Oh, goodness me, man. We talk about the most random stuff during the games as well, but yeah. Have you heard Healy Ray's accent from Ireland? He is a politician. You would be shocked. Wouldn't have a clue what he was saying. Who was it? A guy who sometimes on the streams named Joe Lyons sent me an email with like a video taken at some like players' dinner. And they had a bunch of old Ireland players there. And one of them was from, I think, somewhere in Cork. And he was telling a story. And I think he was like half drunk as he was telling the story. I think I'm pretty good at understanding most people speaking English. No idea what the hell he was on about. No idea. No idea. That's why this is the best live stream on YouTube. Because it brings the random. Yeah, that's true. I can't stand the sound of Simon Bridges' voice. Yeah, he's got a funny accent as well, to be fair. Ruben's off to the gym. All right, man. Take care. Did I watch any of the Mitre 10 games? I didn't watch any of them in full, but I watched bits and pieces of most. So, yeah, I had my kids running around for much of the day. Ah, it was an HIA. Did they say for Pattaya? In Wales, there's a big difference between north and south. Everyone knows the South Valley belt up north is almost Liverpool. Yeah, I don't think New Zealand's an old enough country to have got that kind of regional variation, eh? What's Halep Petty done? He just fell to the deck. Now he's up and running. What the hell? He looked like he'd been shot. Russell says, great show. I hope it's a bit of random goodness from time to time. Big Will, game clock is 40:44. 40:44. The humor on the stream is why I turn off the J Sports commentary. Oh, man, that's just... You guys are being too kind. I will open another beer. I appreciate you guys as well. You always put a smile on my dial. Like, I was knackered before this game, man. I was like, oh, man, am I going to get through this game? But I don't know. I feel kind of energized. What can I say? Like, I just woken up from a nap. Been out with the kids in the sun all day. Yeah, I was knackered. Cheers, everybody. Banter on the stream is better than Tim Horan's commentary. What happened to Dane Halapeti here? Yeah, he looks sore. He pulled up, just went straight down. He's got to go off. What's the poison? I'm still on this Wakachangi, man. I've still got like a couple of bottles left. Amazing Wakachangi. Very nice beer. It's pretty nice though. I can't complain. The wife just came in and said you are listening to that South African again. What? I don't think I say anything particularly South African. I did work with a couple of South Africans, but not many. It was funny though, actually, my dad, Gaza, the other day, he asked me, he said, have you ever seen videos of a guy named Gareth Mason? And I was like, yeah, I've done a couple of videos with him. It's like, his stuff's really good. I was watching him talk about, what did he talk about? He'd watched one of G-Man's recent videos, and I was like, that's good. My dad's really getting into his YouTube. Doesn't watch my videos. He doesn't watch my videos at all. I know that because he asks me questions about video, like stuff I've done videos about. Be like, oh, you see, we didn't get the rugby championship. It's gone to Australia, but yeah, I did a video about it. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, mucking around, aren't they? There goes Dalgunu. Oh, where's he going to score here? Salakailota almost lost his pants, but he managed to keep them on, and he scored a try to go with it. Good times. How many minutes are we in? It's 44:07. They've just scored a try, the Reds. I always get asked if I'm South African. I can honestly say I very rarely have that. You should have Gaz on for a Mitre 10 game. Yeah, that would be good. I should actually. She says you sound nothing like Kiwi Mick. He's from Dannyburg. I definitely do not sound Kiwi. Like, that much. I don't know why. Even before I left, like, New Zealand, I remember when I was at uni, one of my teachers thought I was the German kid. There was one German kid in class, and she was just like, "How do you find taking classes in English?" And I was like, "Fine. Why?" She's like, "Oh, okay. I was just curious, with your first language being German." Who do you think I am? Bro, what's a conversion? He's kicked that from the sideline. Massive. Well, I'm not from Cork. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Will you check out the Automations Cup when it starts? Bro, international rugby. Yes. I will be there. With bells on. Used to be sticking from Russian because we have a lot of Russians here. I think I've only had that once. People asking me if I changed my name to assimilate. Oh, damn. Always found the easiest way to tell a Kiwi is the way they say shed. How do they say shed? Shed. Garage is the other one. Garage. Richie McCaw used to do ads for a garage company. If you need a shed or a garage, just call blah, 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 blah. It was pretty bloody Kiwi, about as Kiwi as you can get. Liam Messon plays for Raglan. Did not know that. Got two English teachers, one who's Canadian, the other's German, and they teach Scottish students. Ironic that none of us can speak proper English. That is rather amusing. Do I follow sevens? Not a lot of sevens, man. I don't watch a lot of sevens. It's one of my big regrets that I don't watch enough sevens. Son's just run in to get some socks. He's going for squad photos even though they can't play at the moment. Well, priorities, man. Got to get that photo. Some Kiwis and Sapphires, especially the ones with British heritage, have such mild accents they can fool me to thinking they're Aussies. Honestly, man, the Aussie and Kiwi accents are far more similar than we want each other to believe. Can you or Gazza do a Super Rugby outside or dream team of the season? I did one. People didn't like Sam Cane. I picked Sam Cane and people hated it. Just watched Counties Monaco against Tasman. Counties Monaco looked rubbish and Tasman looked good. That game, I think, could have been worse, but yeah, I didn't hardly see any of it because I was too busy asleep. Do you remember any ESOL students in your schools? Like when I was a teacher? Yeah. 49 minutes. Tamura's just cleared it to just short of halfway. He's looking a bit sore as well after that one, actually. He looks a bit tender. Kane, Papali'i or Frizzell with Bashir at 6 for you, Leo. Oh, almost an intercept for the Rebels, but not quite. Yeah, it was interesting looking at Bashir's stats based on that video I did the other day. Like, he has some bloody good stats in some areas, but some that are, I don't know, not that good. Oh, here goes haircut. Oh, with the dummy. Sickening dummy. This kick through is too big. Man. Beats the first tackle. He sells Hodge down the river with that dummy. Puts the kick through, and it's just too big. Northmum second place in the Super Brew pool. Jeez, well done. Kick that into next week, yeah. Early pick to take out the Mitre 10 Cup? Probably Canterbury, man. Canterbury are just always bloody good. Look at Tupou. Full head of steam. Oh, man. Matt Phillips stood his ground, to be fair. He's probably given up a few kegs on old Tupou, but jeez. Look at him go. Jeez. Brutal. The Ribsy's finally done with work. Goodness me, Alaran. We'll need Waikato to win more often at that rate. So as to celebrate the Waikato team having a win at last. And what a win it was. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. Damn. Did you put too much through there? That's a lot of money. Cheers, man. Ugh. Massive win. I haven't seen the whole game. D-Mac's intercept try seemed to be the highlight of it. He's still got some full gas. Oh, Ribsy. Jeez, you as well. Reds in some sort of final. I was talking earlier about how it's like a qualifying final. And people tell me in Australia that's a thing with like AFL. It's a weird thing in Union, but we'll take it. Cheers, man. Appreciate it. Big Will says he would have yelled Tupou. Yours if Tupou was renegade like that, yes. I agree. I would not want to be where Matt Phillip was just then. Are you doing weekly Super Brew Mitre 10 vids on Patreon? I will, bro. I will do the rundown on the Mitre 10 Cup results, as mad as they may be. Who's your first team? My first team in my childhood was the Auckland, like, NPC team, I think it was when I was a kid. Then that kind of became the Blues. Tamua has gone off. He really did hurt himself. Buongiorno Lee, how's it going? I reckon that entire Super Rugby AU Tupou is the person I would least want to try and tackle. Hodge, someone mentioned earlier he was going to do a big kick. Oh, he's got one. Still touching distance. This game is still game on. Is there anyone I would want to take on less than Tupou? We need Mitre 10 reviews on Patreon. We don't pay you enough to keep up with that many games. There's a ton of games. I remember the one year when I first started this channel, I did Mitre 10. I think I just did weekly reviews. And bro, that was a load of games. And I couldn't watch all the games, but I would at least make sure I watched all the highlights, took all the notes. Oh man, that's a mission. Mark, I thought your team was Leinster. Not my first team, but what can I say? Liam, this game has been a cracker. It's been absolutely good. Really good. Remember the World Cup when the entire Northern Hemisphere was streaming for Hodge to get suspended and everyone in Australia was like, we don't even want him to get in our team. Yep. Will we suffer another draw between these two teams? Surely not. Oh yeah, who else wouldn't I want to tackle apart from Tani Tupo? Monko says Pone Fa'amusili. That's another one. He goes full steam, that guy. Anybody else? Tupo just on pure size. Wouldn't be good. You thought I was a closet Munster fan. When I did the preview of the Munster and Leinster game, someone said that they accused me of being a Munster fan in the preview. I guess I must have said something about Munster being alright. Penalty. Messy scrum, that one, to be fair. Time for the game. The clock's not on the screen at the minute, but I'll let you know. It's 56-52. And the Reds are going to take a shot at goal. Was the Pattaya try any good? Do you want me to spoil it for you? Pretty good. God knows, stay away from that red rubbish team. I'm not convinced about their coach, man, to be honest. I reckon they should be doing better. How many meters can I kick a goal? Probably about 22. With a toe hack, 22 is about the limit. It doesn't get much further. Oh. In off. They raised the flags, right? In off. Jeez, cheeky. Cheeky. Back to a 7-point margin. Oh, Caleb, I saw you just signed up on Patreon. Good man. In it for the Mitre 10 Cup Super Brew videos, eh? I'll take it. Thank you, mate. AB is Richie at 10, Bridge 11, Geordie 14, Bodie 15. Bridge on the bench. You got 2 Bridges? Geordie at 14 can work, though, because he's a massive man to cross-kick, too. I do like that idea. Right, we're almost at the hour mark. 59 minutes. Rebels have got the ball just inside the Reds 22. If they can get a try here, she'll be all square again, but Deegan's kick just goes too big. Any idea who the next Highlanders coach will be? Probably Tony Brown, if I had to put money on it. Oh, Star Leo, bro. Cheers for all the great rugby content and fun streams. Keep it up. Cheers, man. Appreciate it. I certainly will. Thank you, mate. What can I say? I do love the streams. Some of the stuff we talk about is madness. Hate when players duck so low into the tackle like that number 11. That's how Fatialofa got injured in the UK. I never actually went back and watched that tackle that injured him because I figured I wasn't going to see anything that I wanted to see. But at least he recovered. But yeah. The Rebels are about 2 meters out. Base of the post doesn't count anymore, people. Reds defense has got numbers. Korobidi. Forward pass. Forward pass. It was awful. Don't watch it. Here's alive and barely walking. Yeah, I don't want to watch it. Although, I should say, in New Zealand basketball, or at least like Australia, New Zealand basketball, our team, the New Zealand Breakers, I think last year, there was a guy who during the game, now you're a doctor, Charlotte, so this is probably not a problem for you, but he got his eye poked out of his socket. Somehow the guy was going for him and poked his eye, and his eye popped out. They said the crowd was horrified. And they managed to pop it back in, but oh my goodness, I cannot think of anything I would rather not see. That is horrendous. I will never watch that video. I will never, never, never watch that video. But I know it happened. And I think there's probably video of it out there. But getting your eye poked out in a game. Ugh. God. Can he see? Yeah, he's apparently all good. He's all good. But it just popped out. Yeah. Forgotten if they score at the base of the post, what happens? Nothing. I think it just doesn't count. And man, Ulysses is going off. How many of these bloody Rebels guys are going to get injured? Oh, fleshing. Cheers, man. Talking about eyes getting popped out of the sockets. Other random goodness. Yeah. I appreciate that, man. Cheers, man. I hope you're having a good one. That Breakers player lost his eyeballs. Was that 4 years ago? I thought it was like last year. It's just fresh in my mind. But they popped it back in, and he was all good. Yeah, something about like the guy was going for the ball and just popped him in the eye with his finger. Just popped it in. Ugh. The eye popping vid is nasty. Not going to be able to sleep. This is why I've never watched that video. I learned after watching. I had a mate who wanted me to watch some really twisted stuff back in like uni. I learned pretty early you can't forget that stuff, so just don't watch it. Ignorance is bliss. Do not watch anything that you think is going to upset you. If there's like a police car with a car crash at the side of the road, don't rubberneck. Just keep driving. You're not going to see anything you want to see. It's nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty stuff. Don't look. If that's like the 2 cents advice for the day, keep your eyes on the road. Big Will. R.I.P. to the thingy's eyeball. Now that's a New Zealand reference. Cheers, Big Will. If you guys are not from New Zealand, essentially there was a puppet, a hand puppet called Thingy, who was on a children's television show, and he had two really big eyeballs. And one day when they were filming, one of the eyeballs popped out. Now, what you may not know, if you're a Kiwi, is, because Jason Gunn, who was the host of that show, talked about it recently, that blooper was only shown on like bloopers shows because they pre-recorded the show and it wasn't live. But with the way the human memory is, people have seen that blooper and then they've associated it with their childhood and they think, I remember watching that episode when I was a kid when Thingy, the puppet, his eyeball fell out and I was horrified. But apparently that's just your memory doing funny things, because obviously if it's a pre-recorded show and the eyeball falls out, they wouldn't put that on to scare the children. So, yeah. There you go. There you go. Thingy was like an alien hand puppet thing. Ulysses, unlucky, bro. He gets injuries like mad. It is crazy. Other than people's eyes getting ripped into their sockets, I know in All Elite Wrestling, John Moxley was half blind in his left eye, stabbed a metal spike. Jesus, no, man. Oh. Even if the Rebels win, they won't have their players available for the final due to injuries. And that way, you might hope the Reds win, eh? Bro. Speaking of hard, I'm sure you guys all know about this story. Unlike a New Zealand lesser known hand puppet, Buck Shelford's scrotum took some punishment. Big Will says, oh yeah, shout out to Buck Shelford's testes. You're a hard man, Buck. Cheers, man. Oh, handbags. Handbags. Cheers, Big Will. You're right. Buck is a hard man. Was the Shelford incident on YouTube? I don't know. Again, I've not looked. I worked with Thingy. Alan Henderson was his name. You may have seen him at rugby game. Hell of a cameraman. For real. Bro, that's an interesting one, Dwayne. Can't go through a final series without some handbags. Yeah. Gotta have some handbags. Campbell Magna, yeah. Hot-headed man. Did you hear some ABs want to opt out of the Rugby Championship because of the quarantine? Yeah, they mentioned Bowden Barrett's got a baby due. Richie Moonga's just had a baby. There's our two tens. And someone else, was it Aaron Smith? Just had it, like he's got a young child. So, yeah, they reckon some of them may not want quarantine in Australia plus quarantine on return to New Zealand. Plus 6 weeks of rugby, that's a lot of time. So, yeah. Yes, it's on YouTube, Buck's Nuts. All right, go have a look. I'm not going to look. Oh, Pedonato's just had a baby. Thank you, Stalia. What happens if the game is still drawn after super time? Since this is a qualifying final, Shane, bro, that's a hell of a question. I haven't looked it up. I never even thought it was likely. Penalties? Bro, wouldn't it be great if we went to penalties? Honest opinion on Aaron Smith getting into trouble for his Christchurch airport incident. He's not the first guy to do it, but it was pretty dumb, wasn't it? All Blacks dropped him after that, so I guess he sorted out his personal life. He's still with his missus. Oh, Tate McDermott's going off. Of course, a sapper would be at the center of the handbags. There you go. My sister is due her first baby next month. That's awesome. First babies are pretty cool. You don't know what the hell you're doing. My show was Get Real. Worked in children's department in Christchurch 96. Fee was my missus for a while. If you're old enough to remember back then. Now, excuse me while I check out Buck's Nuts, says Dwayne. Oh man, Get Real. I don't remember the show. Maybe vaguely. I remember like What Now and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, disappointed Josh Ioane didn't get selected since he can play 10 and centre. He'll get his chance, man. Especially if Bodie or Richie pulls out of the rugby championship due to babies. He's got to be next cab off the rank. Penalties would be fun. Any tiebreaker decision is better than what they did at the last Cricket World Cup final. Yeah, I don't even follow cricket anymore, but don't go there. Man, Hamish Stewart's going down. Neither of these sides is going to beat the Brumbies. Nobody's going to have 23 fit guys to play. Are you kidding me? This is brutal. She's due 3 days after our dad's birthday. Daughter will share the same birthday. Kind of funny if she's born on dad's birthday. True. Yeah, I got to see my nephew the other day. He's like 3 months old, so he's like still proper like little baby. And I was like, man, I didn't actually hold him because last time I held him, he bloody was sick everywhere. But I was looking at him and I was like, you're cute, but no more babies. Would the ABs that want to opt out still play in the Bledisloes in New Zealand? I would say so. Yeah, they just don't want to travel. But you never know, man. If you lose your place, somebody else steps up, you may find yourself down in the pecking order. You never know. Meeks was terrible last week. He's not had his best time. I actually don't mind Billy Meeks, but yeah, in AU, he's not kind of stepped up. Big call taking haircut off. Sad Laumape didn't make it. I think Laumape has kind of been earmarked to be in the squad once he's fit in November, and I failed miserably to mention that in my video the other day. So yeah. No more babies in this house, at least while either of us are living here. Yeah. I don't need any more children. 2 is good. 67 minutes and 30 seconds. Speaking of other stuff than babies, there's some rugby on. And the Reds have just won a penalty. Bloody Dalgunu. God, he's a beast at the breakdown today. So spoiled choice. Other people could potentially come into the team. We do have other depth, apart from maybe Locke. Paddy Parkinson would have made it if he did no injuries. Monko, 100% agree. 100%. Bledisloe being played in New Zealand. Does that mean rugby championship matches will also be Bledisloe? They usually are. I can't imagine there'll be any change. Hey, how's McDermott's coming back on? Must have been HIA. Buck is one tough dude. Lost 3 teeth. Got knocked out cold for 2 minutes. Lost his ball in one game and did 80. What a lad. Bro. Yeah. Buck's a tough fella. Can't wait for my children to have babies, says Charlotte. Only 16 and 18, hop not too soon, but I love babies so much. Even when I did baby checks as a GP, I just wanted to cuddle the babies. I reckon I quite like my babies. I'm not that keen on other people's babies, eh? I guess if I had grandkids, I'd probably not mind them too much. But like my nephew and these, they're alright. But I don't want to spend the day with them. My kids are alright. I think I'll just stick to my kids. What is Buck doing now? He was advertising like retirement villages last time I saw. He did a bit of rugby coaching with North Harbour for quite some time. Yeah. Dalguna, good chance to get into the Wallabies. Bro, if they don't pick him, Fiji should pick him. Absolutely. And Kenneth, man, I agree. The players are dropping like flies indeed. There's been how many bloody injuries. The Brumbies will be looking at this game going, This is just what we wanted. Blues had no good 10s in past years. This year they had Plummer, Bodie, Petafeta, and Carter. I feel like they had another one, didn't they? Otedi Black? Yeah, Otedi Black. Too many 10s, man. Why is Haircut coming back on? I think Stewart is either going off and maybe Haircut was having HIA. I don't know. I guess I would not mind my grandkids. That's enthusiasm for your children's children. Bro, I'm sure once I saw them, I would like them. But these, like, imaginary grandchildren of my 2 and 4-year-old, yeah, I have no real affinity for them at the moment. What can I say? How many times did the Reds lose centers this season? Yeah. Oh, one of the Rebels guys is down hurt too. It looks like cramp though. Yeah, it's nice around you, alright. Higgity finds touch. It's like me playing Football Manager. I don't have any centre mids. Suddenly I've got 4 centre mids all demanding game time. Bro, I spent hours of my life playing Football Manager. My thing was always to pick a rubbish team and get them, usually with a big stadium, and then get them promoted through the divisions without save scumming, because I can't do save scumming. Yeah, I had Darlington, Paris FC. Those are a couple of clubs that I've coached. Long careers with Football Manager. Yep. Take them on holiday for 2 weeks and then hand them back. Grandkids, eh? Man, so many changes. Theo, is it Theo Strang? He's come on. Lamani's off. Must be the bench is pretty much cleared by now. Yeah, Haircut is playing fullback, it seems. This game is better than some of the Aotearoa games. I agree, man. This game's been frantic. I mean, the score's not huge, but it doesn't matter. It's been all over the place. Nah, not good play from the Rebels. Turned it over. We'll have a scrum. Is there a backline position that Haircut hasn't played? He's not really played 10, eh? He's played wing. He's played 9. He's played fullback, apparently. Maybe this game has learned something. Yeah, these guys have been watching Mitre 10 all day. It's going to be tight, says Elaran. Bro, if the Rebels score next... Oh, nah. The Reds have just won a scrum penalty. Bit of handbags. Salakai Lotto just gave Hardwick a slap in the face. We tap. Tupou's still on. He's played almost 73 minutes. How many injuries in this game? I've lost track. Rebels manager looks like a pizza chef, Ribsy. Ribsy, earlier Grant compared him to looking like a 1980s South African policeman, which is a scary prospect. Watch a reaction video to Buck describing what happened to him in that match. Oh my god, I'm in pain thinking about it. The man must have no nerves working in his body. You guys shouldn't look this stuff up. Why would you do that to yourself? I don't know why. Curiosity, man. Killed the cat, bro. Not good. Not good. What happens if extra golden point times ends in a draw? I don't actually know. It's not going to happen because here goes Tupou. He's just giving it to Dalgunu. It's a try. That's the game. That's the game. They're going to check something. They are going to check something. If that's a try, that's game. Looks alright. Looks flat. Great try. The man played half a match with the thing hanging out, 3 teeth knocked out, even out cold for 2 minutes. Yes. Yes. Tupou playing fly half needs to decide where he wants to play. Yeah, Tupou, make your mind up. That's either prop or fly half. Notice the crowd is much bigger than the Broncos crowd this season. Yeah, apparently that's a thing. The Broncos have been having a shocking season, and their last game at Suncorp was the biggest crowd, I think, of the season, either team. So, he's pushed it wide. Still time for the Reds to lose it, but I wouldn't have thought it's possible. Who would win a 100-meter race? Dan Coles or Tupou? Ooh. Tight. Big Will. The Big Will strut is coming out for the missus tonight. The missus who's injured for 4 months and can't really walk without crutches. She's got to sit there with Big Will strutting around. Oh, poor woman. Oh, cheers, Big Will, man. For the laughs and for the tip. Goodness me. "77 minutes. The Rebels need to score like now. Otherwise, that's it. That's it, really, isn't it? That's it. They're not going to score that many points. I think I only picked the Reds by like 3. That's a shocking pick. Oh, we're taking a victory lap around the lounge. Yeah, buddy. Oh, nice. His missus has got an Achilles injury, but that's not going to stop him. Oh, I love it. Definitely a captive audience, Fleshin. Man, some of the offloads have been crazy. Great game. Hopefully we can convert some of these crowd members to Union if they're not already. How good was Dalgunu's try, Chris? Pretty bloody good, man. I had the Reds by 3, but I'm not complaining about it. Reds win Darmundi? Yeah, you'd have to say the Reds are the form team at the minute. They're going to give the Brumbies a good run. Fiji has a slight chance in their pool. Western Force been in conversations about, join a Super Rugby New Zealand, Bay of Plenty, something. Madness. Just switched over to NRL. SBW is a big unit. He's not as big as Taniela Tupou. He's probably taller. Pick the Reds by 10. Pick the Reds by 11. Oh, yeah. You guys will be in for a wee margin point. Good. You've been watching the game, Chris. It's been a good one, eh? Really good. Yeah, man. I have to question whether I back the Brumbies at this point because the Reds seem like the form team. We'll have to see how many of their guys have got kind of long-term injuries because they certainly lost Pitaya and Feo Waisotia. Although I feel like they've got cover for him. Reds by 9, Alaran says. Yeah, you guys went a bit more bold than me. I honestly thought it would be a bit tighter. It was for a while, but... If the Rebels can score a converted try, that'd do me just fine. Go, Hodgie. Oh, he's been absolutely flattened. Was that Dalgunu? Bro, Dalgunu's maybe man of the match. What a tackle. He's had turnovers, try, big tackles. Come on, man. Worst injury is that ice maker one. I think I've seen that video, the blood pumping out. Jesus, that's bad, that one. My New Zealand picks are actually pretty good, but my Aussie ones have been crap. Sometimes that's the way it goes. What was better, though, the game or the discussion about hand puppets losing eyes and damaged testicles? Oh, it's all a rich tapestry. Oh. Yep. Western Force have certainly got some coin behind them with old Andrew Forrest. So I wish the Force the best of luck, man. I hope they can get a regular comp with the other Aussie teams. Have I broken a bone? I fractured my arm. That's the closest. I never snapped one. There you go. That's full time. They're going to take on the Brumbies next week. And at this rate, man... Would you be picking the Brumbies? I'm not sure. I don't know, man. The Reds are in bloody good form. They look in the business. They are looking the absolute business. Great crowd. Good on all the people who got up to that one too. They absolutely saw a cracker of a game. Very good stuff. And you people got your margins as well. Yeah, cheers everybody for coming along. It's just been a bit of a fun one. And yeah, if any of you guys are going to be awake in, oh, here we go, Ribsy. Assorted Queensland grunting and noises. Cheers, man. Still one more week for you Aussies to go. Ribsy, you'll see if you guys can get the job done next week. Your boys are certainly in the right form for it. But, yeah. Cheers, guys. If you're going to be up in, how many hours is it? Like 7.5 hours? Then I'll be streaming the Pro 14 game, which is Leinster-Ulster. It's the final of that competition. So that could be a bit of fun, or it could be an absolute grind. I can't imagine it's going to live up to this game, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. So, yes. You guys take care. And I'll see you again. If not for the Pro 14, then for another one sometime soon. Take care, everybody. See you guys.